Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. Yes, it is time for the weekly news update. Lots of exciting things to talk about this week, and we're going to be covering all of the significant news that's been happening on both the Songbird and Flare network. Let's jump in to the signal providers over here on the Flare Systems Explorer. We've ordered them by delegation reward rate. But I don't know what these ticks are. I don't know if they're part of a verified group or if they're maybe lacking some sort of functionality. But let's talk about the ones with ticks on, because I know that they can be trusted. I think they've been pre-approved by the management group. So we've got Poseidon FTSO in first place. We've got HEWG in second place, Wonder FTSO in third place, AF Oracle in fourth place, and finally shout out to S-Toads FTSO in fifth place. Moving along here, NFT statistics. This is xHaven. Dominating the chart this week is Smuggler Chimp's recently launched collection by Digital Dynamics. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Second place, it's the usual suspects. We've got the Block Bonez traits, and in third place, we have the Block Bonez main collection. Fourth place is Best FTSO NFT contract, and in fifth place, it's the Focus Pass. Moving along here to True Gems, there's only two NFTs that have been trading this week. One of them is the Focus Pass, and the other one is the True Gems Genesis Collection. So if you didn't already know, FIP-12, that's a Flare Improvement Proposal, has been approved, and it brings the Flare Data Connector, often referred to as the FDC, to the Flare network. Now, this is actually a precursor for the launch of FAssets. I know everyone's always wondering when FAssets, and we do have a little bit of news about that in just a moment. Here we go. It is almost showtime. So FAssets coming to the Flare network soon. Yes. So this was a post here by Hugo, the co-founder of the Flare network and CEO of Flare Labs. He says that FAssets V1 will be launched on Flare shortly. FAssets V2 will launch in late summer and will solve the collateral constraints of V1, meaning unlimited minting. Now, this again was pretty vague in a true Hugo fashion, but he did deviate from his normal vocabulary in this next post, where we have a bit more insight and a bit more of a precision of when this may launch. FAssets V1 is likely to launch early to mid-March, so that is about 1 month away. And here's the proof to show you right here. This is from Hugo himself. He said that FAssets V1, the protocol that is currently being tested on the Songbird network, will launch on Flare shortly, as he did before. He expands here by saying likely, which doesn't mean certainly, likely early to mid-March. So that's as accurate as a statement as we can get from Hugo. There is no hard date yet. It's a very high chance, that's what I get from the word likely, that it is going to be coming next month. Minting caps will be increased incrementally, so it's not going to be unlimited straight away. And this is actually just a sound way to roll something out. You don't just unlock everything, you roll it out gradually and observe the transaction, observe the behavior of the participants, and that's exactly what's going to happen with FAssets V1 on the Flare network. That being said, I do imagine that the increase in the cap will occur much faster than it has on the rate on Songbird, because Songbird has obviously been testing this protocol for quite some time now, and yeah, I'm excited to see this come to fruition next month, hopefully. Right, moving along. The talk of the town is the Flare Fair. It is now open. If you haven't already seen it, if you haven't connected to the internet in some time, you may have seen a lot of promotional material such as this one, the Flare Fair. It's a one-stop DeFi carnival. It's basically a turbocharged version of FAssets rewards. Of course, if you already have been part of the channel, you will know that you can get RFLR rewards, which is Reward Flare, for participating in various DeFi applications. There's a load of them, and it's designed to help build the total value locked of the network on Flare. And this is a really important metric, not just for awareness and exposure for people that may want to interact with Flare, but also the developers. And this is this continual flywheel where the developers are attracted because they see network activity, they build decentralized apps on Flare, and that them products actually influence more people to join the network and participate in it, which means more transactions, and thus the loop continues. Flare have also announced a specific partnership with Layer 3, where you can bridge, lend, learn, and build a daily streak for a share of $100,000 in daily rewards. It's open for 34 days, and if you want to participate, you can find the links on the Flare network X quite easily. I'm absolutely loving all of these animations that they've got. They are really, I guess, tied to the theme of the Flare network with all the blues and the pinks. I think they look great, and I think it's definitely a great way to market these DeFi emissions, because let's be honest, DeFi emissions is not that attractive for people who may have never participated in DeFi, but the Flare Fair, well, that's a different story. This is what the website looks like. This is fair.flare.network. Talks about how you can participate. They've even got some explainer videos here on a lot of the different protocols that you can use, whether that be BlazeSwap, Kinetic, Gnosis. All of the information is here. You can check out the frequently asked questions here too. The main way that you participate is looking at these fund zones, and it's going to tell you exactly how you can utilize these apps, by providing liquidity or lending out assets and such. So it says that there's more to come here. I've got a feeling this may be something to do with FAssets. We know that there is going to be rewards for those who hold FAssets, and I'm sure that this will be part of the Flare Fair too. Moving along here, the Flare Fair has obviously had a huge impact on the Flare network in terms of metrics, specifically the transactions. So we look here at Root Scan, which is a multi-chain explorer, and we have, I think it's a new record high, 1 million daily transactions and 50,000 daily active addresses. This is all great metrics to show that the Flare network is actually being used. People are participating and enjoying the rewards. If that is you, or you're wondering how you can do so, please feel free to subscribe. And of course, do check the links below for the Patreon group, because I will be talking all kinds of strategy once FAssets goes live and the various protocols that we can use to interact with them and get the most RFLR. Marketing team is in full effect. So this is from Nick, who actually runs the Aureus OX and Oxenflow projects, and this is the landing page of the Brave browser. Just like Chrome or Safari, Brave is a browser that actually prevents you from watching advertisements, and it pops block-ups. And here you can see that they have it as some sort of sponsored content on the landing page, and this is every time you open up a new tab. Now, granted, you're not going to see this every time, but it's great to see that the Flare team are using their marketing budget to really expand the community and get to people that wouldn't normally see this, right? Everyone on Brave usually has some sort of crypto background, because with Brave you can actually earn the native token. It's the BAT token, basic attention token. And yeah, this is going to reach a lot of people, so I'm happy to see that. Supercharge Flare DeFi with custom feeds. So this is a new proposal, FIP-13, and it's going to basically unlock more functionality for the FTSO by being able to introduce custom feeds to the Flare time series Oracle. This is going to make it a lot more robust, and again, just push it forward as the best Oracle in the space. Flare is certainly dominating in that regard, and I see a lot of criticism with people talking about or comparing it to Chainlink, and they don't compare it on a technical level, more so with the integrations that FlareLink has. FlareLink is no doubt the most popular Oracle in the space, but is it the best? Will it be overtaken? Well, I certainly believe so, because the Flare time series oracle is superior in many different aspects, and I think it's only a matter of time before the word gets out and these entities that want to leverage data, high integrity data, will look for cheaper sources, faster sources, and they can source all of that data on-chain and off-chain from the FTSO. So if you've been paying attention to the the Songbird System Explorer, you may have seen some BTC, that's Bitcoin attestation requests. And this is what the Explorer looks like. And you can see here the BTC transactions. And what that basically is saying is that FBTC, Flare Bitcoin, Flare Bitcoin is going to basically be going live at some point in the near future. Obviously, we have XRP here, we have Dogecoin. These are all already active, but Bitcoin looks next in line to launch on Songbird. This is something that I think has gone under the radar quite a bit. Post didn't get that much exposure, and it's this talk about Red Date Tech. And you can see by the description here, the architect of new global digital infrastructures. And they're actually launching a Hong Kong stablecoin summit next week. In fact, this was posted next week, so it's this week. I believe it's on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And drawing lines between Flare's announcement regarding the decentralized KYC, or Know Your Customer solution, and the event agenda, it's obvious to see that something has been cooking. And a little true fact here is that the Flare team actually liked this post. So just reading the highlighted bits here for you, the UDPN, stablecoin management system, is an institutional grade solution fully aligned with various regulatory frameworks, establishing a robust foundation for issuing and managing stablecoins and tokenized deposits. So this is from Red Date Tech. Again, cooking up some things with the Hong Kong government there. And this is the Flare page announcement going back quite a bit. This is in November the 8th here. Flare has partnered with Red Date Technology to introduce a never-before-seen decentralized identity, Know Your Customer initiative for mainland Chinese investors in Hong Kong. Second trial facilitates the purchase of tokenized financial products with stablecoins. So from my perspective, these two announcements are very much aligned. Maybe we will get some more information from this on the 17th. We're going to just have to keep our eyes peeled. Again, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, because of course I will be bringing you the breaking news as and when it happens. We got this news here from Into the Block, talking about a 400% yearly total value locked growth of the Flare network DeFi ecosystem. So this could be testament to the great work with the Flare Fair and the RFLR emissions in general. But they've got quite an interesting application here where you can view all kinds of, you can view all kinds of metrics here on this page. It does take a second to load. But you've got all kinds of things like the various dApps, Blaze Swap, Clearpool, Enosis, another Enosis ones, Flare Farm, all of that great stuff. And that's not all. You can continue down here and see where the TVL actually is lying. The majority here sitting in Clearpool, which backs a stablecoin, if I'm not mistaken. But again, something to look at if you are looking to geek out at some data. I'll actually post this in the chat for anyone that may be interested, because it's quite interesting to some of you out there, including myself. So moving along, this is quite a big announcement here brought by Catalyst, who first discovered it. DeFi Llama is saying Scepter liquid staking is just surpassed 1 billion FLR. So Scepter liquid staking is also known as the SFLR, or staked FLR, which is quite an integral part of the Flare ecosystem. It allows you to get the benefits of staking your FLR, but then able to be used are able to use this SFLR in various DeFi protocols, such as decentralized exchanges, for providing liquidity. Got another one here from you from xDeFi. This is a recently launched futures contract platform. And I did mention it last week, and I'm not sure how many people got in on this, but they was giving away 10,000 FLR for people who registered and got their KYC token from xDeFi. It's basically a futures contract which is worth 10,000 FLR. Now, if you do provide your ID and KYC with xDeFi, you can actually now still get 2,000. This is for the first 200 users only. The first batch of rewards for the 10,000 was only for the first 300 users. So I guess you've got to be pretty fast. An interesting platform if you are interested in futures. It may be a little bit more advanced than what other people may be used to. It's not like Blaze Swap. It's not like trading on a centralized exchange. It's very much different, but one of the things that I really like about xDeFi is that it leverages the Flare Time Series Oracle, and it's a great use case for the Flare Time Series Oracle, and xDeFi really is showcasing what Flare is capable of. Moving on to NFTs here, we did have the Digital Dynamics Smuggler's Chimps launch last week, and we've got this here. So the phase 1 was the base layer mint, which sold out very fast, just a couple of days, 1,000 NFTs. We revealed the base layers, and there's still a lot more to come. We've got the traits launch, the ability to equip traits and build something personal to you. And after you've achieved a fully fused status, you actually get a lot of benefits as well, including dynamics, airdrops, and royalty shares. If we go back over to xHaven here, you can see that that is one of the reasons why this collection is doing so well. It's actually topping the charts this week, and it's barely a week old. I think the highest sale that we did see on here, there we go, 55,000 FLR, and I believe the mint price may have been somewhere close to 1,000. The beautiful thing is as well that the price for this is dynamic. So when you're buying these traits, or the base layers, they are dynamic, and we are launching Hot Dog's collection here. He's a very talented artist that was created a collection on the XRP ledger, and he's got some great material and an incredible style. He's launching his collection on Monday, and these are some of the styles that you can expect. So very vibrant, and the same principle as well. You get to build this NFT. The base layers are going live for the launch on Monday, and this is what the website looks like. Of course, I am the developer of Digital Dynamics, which is basically a platform that people can use or to buy the NFTs, but also to empower artists that may not have the technical ability to add utility to their collection. So it's happening in about 4 days from now. So Monday, the same time that we usually stream. And yeah, let me just showcase this to you. So if you select WFLR, of course, this actually gets information from the Flare Time Series Oracle, and this price is actually dynamic, meaning that the price that you pay for the NFT changes dependent on the value of FLR. So if the price was to double, this amount would half. This is a novel feature of the FTSO, and I'm very proud to have created such functionality because it just like xDeFi, it really does showcase the power of the FTSO. You can just see it changing there, although marginally because the FLR price is not that volatile, but it does change as and when the price goes up and down. This is some news from some dApps in the space. So this is XOSwap, and Bifrost. They've had a partnership and an integration which strengthens the Flare and Songbird ecosystems. You can now swap FLR for Songbird. You can swap FLR for XRP. You can swap FLR for USDC. If you're doing this one, I'd much say you may be better off using a decentralized exchange on the Flare network. Because there are some fees involved. The way that this works generally is that you're paying for a service. There's someone behind the scenes, a market maker that is facilitating this trade, and they'll be taking a small cut. So anything that you can do on a decentralized exchange highly recommended. But if you want to pay for the convenience of swapping between two different chains, such as these two here, could be worth considering doing this if you can't be bothered to deposit into a centralized exchange, swap for USDT, and then swap USDT for the final asset. So just a heads up there, a great integration as far as I'm concerned. And we also have this here from Oxenflow. This is a guide, a walkthrough about how you can acquire FLR using Topper, which is a product or a service provided by Uphold to buy FLR. And again, these kinds of services that are integrated into dApps, they're not necessarily the most efficient. There may be some fees in there, so I would highly recommend checking out the output so you can assess whether this is something that you want to go forth with, because there are ways that you can do it much cheaper. You essentially pay for the convenience. That's the news this week, but before we close out, I do want to remind you of something very important. The Flare network is becoming increasingly popular, as you've seen in the various metrics, and you may see an uptick in scammers, and this cannot go understated. So I will start saying this quite often. There is just one rule that you need to follow. Do not share your secret phrase. This means not telling your friends. It means not telling imitators of the Flare team. Someone contacts you from Flare or who you believe to be Flare with Hugo's picture. His name is Hugo. It doesn't necessarily mean it is Hugo. Do not share your secret phrase. Do not tell it to helpful support team or admins that may approach you from Discord communities or via Telegram. They're wanting to drag you from a public realm into a private realm so that they can funnel you to a malicious website and extract your private keys. Do not tell anyone. This includes entering your seed phrase into websites that can supposedly help you retrieve your lost funds, help you 5x your FLR in 5 days, help you participate in early whitelist exclusive opportunities, or help you resolve your DeFi issue with any of the decentralized applications on the Flare network. Moral of the story is do not share your secret phrase ever. Ever. Okay? Right, guys, that is the news for this week. I really do hope you enjoyed watching. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video while you're there. Why not? And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.